Thank you for visiting Past the Wire TV, the YouTube channel of PastTheWire.com. We're here with Steve Asmussen. He's got a litany of live horses in the Breeders' Cup this year, but I want to talk a little bit about the Classic and Epicenter, who's just been phenomenal after a, I don't know, fluky but heartbreaking loss in the Kentucky Derby, where it looked like you had it. Fluky loss. He was monstrous since then. Now you're going into the Classic, facing a horse like Flightline, who they're saying might be one of the best we've seen in a long time, certainly has shown brilliance. But your horse is an improving 3-year-old. He's in a top form. What's your outlook on taking a horse on like Flightline, and how much forward do you think Epicenter really has to go?
Well, I think that you're not looking at an immeasurable distance, but I think that you're probably in the 5-length range as far as needing to move forward. I think Epicenter's been extremely consistent. He went into the Derby as the favorite because he's of the talent level that he has. You call it fluky loss. Rich Strike ran a brilliant race in the Derby. I thought he was jeopardized by the trip in the Preakness, and whether that was back in 2 weeks being a bit flat, it's over. He was second in both of those races, but his ability level was more than competitive for him. After that, a bit of a freshening. Went into the Jim Dandy. I thought it was a very dominant performance there, and he backed that up with the Travers with, an emphatic victory at 1.25 miles in a very good time. 2 minutes and change at Saratoga, which doesn't yield fast times as far as the surface. Off of those efforts, looking at what he had done all year long and the bottom that he had in him as far as plenty of tough, fast 2-turn races, thought the best plan was to bring him in here sharp. And then since then, we've seen what Life is Good, what Flightline's done, and we feel, as you alluded to, we probably need to improve in 4 to 5 lengths to put us as fast as anybody can go.
The way you see the race playing out, do you think that the pace scenario and the way the race may shape up may favor you a little bit and kind of give you a little bit of a edge?
When you imagine races or think about them or play them out in your head, you always imagine it working out in a positive way for
right.
you. Looking at the draw, it's Life is Good. Typically jumps really well. His first step away from the gates has been very sharp his whole career, so you would expect that to continue. He is a horse that rarely ever drops to the fence. He generally stays about 30 feet off the rail, and that will, if he is if he jumps well, if he's in his customary position, 20 feet off the rail or better, it'll be a lot of decisions for riders to make on which side to choose of him. I think with everybody being aware of how much speed is possible in the race, you see, from a handicapping standpoint, you generally watch people over adjust to that. You see races that don't have pace, they go too fast, and whatever you see, everybody else sees.
Right.
So that is why our concentration is always on from gate to wire, whatever's best for your horse. You want to be away from the gates cleanly balanced, but you want him in the rhythm that gets him to the wire as fast as possible, and that'll allows for your best outcome.
Last question. It's a self-improvement personal question. I've been watching you for years.
Right.
I don't know how you keep track of I don't know, 1,000 horses and know every minuscule detail about everyone, who breezed, how far, who's going Thursday, who's going Friday, what race they're all going into. Can you teach me how to do that? I could barely manage breakfast.
I'm extremely fortunate and blessed to. I think that the crew that we've put together, we have established this, grown together, and learned the lessons at the same time, and we're very much on the same page. And I think that my fortune or level of success is simply because it appears to be about the only thing we care about.
Okay, best of luck with all your runners this weekend, and thanks for your time.
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate you, Steve.
Thank you.
And take a good look.
Nobody does it better.